Feminism has become something of a dirty word.
Shut up. Alright, so before I start this video, I just wanted to say that I don't hate women, I don't hate feminists, I just hate feminists who specifically shame men and women for making choices that don't agree with what they believe in. I don't think that's a fair thing to do, so that's what this video is mainly going to be about, especially with this new, well, it's not really new, it's an old upload from like 2015. But yeah, it was just my disclaimer. I just wanted to get that out there before I started this video. So with that being said, let's just get started.
In certain circles.
Lately, a lot of high-profile women like Shailene Woodley, Meryl Streep, and Marion Cotillard have gone on record saying they are not feminists.
Yeah. Why do you think they say that? Why do you think all these famous people are saying that they're no longer feminists or that they never were feminists to start with? It's because you ruined it. You ruined the whole feminist movement. Feminism as a whole, it sounds like a great thing, but you guys are trashing it to a point where nobody wants to be associated with what feminism is now. You're not making it equality anymore. You're making it a man-hating movement, and it starts to get really toxic after a point. You see, because these people are famous, and with fame comes power and money, but also it carries a certain reputation, and that reputation is important in maintaining your status in other people's eyes, and in order for you to still have a job. Famous people rely on their reputation, and when they say they're feminists, a lot of people stop liking them because of what you did. You caused this whole idea that feminists are crazy and that they scream and bash men. And you appall at this idea, but in fact you created it, you idiot.
There's even a group called Women Against Feminism.
But what are these women really saying when they declare they aren't feminists?
What they think they're saying is, I don't hate men, I love men.
I don't think women are better than men.
I'm not that kind of woman. You know, the crazy, bra-burning, feminazi kind.
They're saying this because your whole movement is associated with hating men, and it's associated with being crazy and not letting anybody have a different opinion from you. And yeah, I would say these people are cool women when they say that. I think they are. And another thing I find really disturbing is that you'd say that that they don't want to be a crazy feminazi, and you think that's somehow a bad thing. But they say that because they don't want to be that. It's bad. What you're doing isn't good, and they don't want to be associated with your retardation. Oh yeah, and were you just trying to like shame women because they were saying that they're not better than men and they love men? Is that what you were saying? And you were trying to make that sound like bad? You were trying to minimize that? This kind of shows how hypocritical and crazy these people are. They expect the other sex to not only treat them as equals, but to treat them as the better sex. And I feel that's kind of disgusting, honestly. You guys, first of all, you don't even know what you're talking about, and second of all, you're probably one of the stupidest groups of people that exist right now.
I'm a cool woman.
I don't want to put women above men.
For anyone who needs a refresher, this is what feminism means at its core.
Feminist, a person who believes in the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes.
Hating men and being a feminist are actually not connected at all.
They're saying that they don't put women above men. That's literally your movement. They're restating your movement. They're agreeing with your movement, and you disagree with them. Are you stupid? You're going against your own organization and then claim to stand by your organization by doing that. How stupid can you be?
Even a little bit.
Feminism is about equality of the sexes, but right now, one sex has a lot more power than the other.
Men are not systematically oppressed based on their gender, and
there are so many things wrong with that statement. You're saying that men are more privileged than women and that women are oppressed today. Well, first of all, if there were to even be a claim about that, about one gender being more privileged than the other, it would honestly be against a man, because a man isn't allowed to show his feelings. A man can be sued for a woman. A man can be sued by a woman for being her sperm donor and not paying child support. A woman can sue a man for not pay a sperm donor, for that matter, for not paying child support, where child support is supposedly due. A woman can take a man's house after he's bought her that house just by signing a postnuptial agreement, and then a woman has automatic custody of a child, and it's the man's job to prove that he's the more fit parent to care for that child. So I have no idea what you're saying about men being men being more privileged than you idiots. And second of all, women aren't oppressed. Where are you getting that idea from? I don't even think you know what oppression means. Oppression is where you are negated from free speech. You can't speak your mind. And by not letting anybody voice their opinions, you are technically oppressing them, because you're not allowing people to have opinions that disagree with yours. And you guys are such babies to the point where you can't handle just a simple disagreement, just from anybody's standpoint.
Men are, and that's a fact too.
So if you believe any of the following:
Reproductive rights,
equal pay for equal work,
seeing diverse.
The wage gap isn't even real, you stupid nugget. The wage gap is literally taking the average wage of a woman and the average wage of a man and subtracting it. The average American wage does not take into account maternity leave, hours worked, or later retirement age. And they don't even take into the fact that men work more than women do. There are more men working than there are women, and that's a woman's choice. Women have freedom to work if they want to. They have the freedom to live the life that they want to. And a lot of women choose to be housewives. And even you yourselves bash women for making their life choices. Isn't feminism about empowering women to make their own decisions rather than men making them for them? And when they actually do make their decisions, you negate them for it. You try to minimize their views and say that if you don't do what I do, then you're not a feminist and you hate all women, which isn't fair at all.
Bodies, ethnicities, and gender expressions on screen and in magazines.
providing education to 62 million girls who don't have access to it,
Ending sexual violence.
Schools are better designed for girls than they are for boys. That's a fact. Girls learn better when they're sitting still and listening to somebody talk. Boys learn better by walking around and actually doing hands-on activities. And actually, everything you've just said is wrong. In the past decade, there have been far more women than men that have graduated from colleges, done better in school, and graduated from universities. So don't come to me with that BS telling me that the educational system is unfair, because it's totally biased towards women. And I'm not what they say, a meninist. I don't have an opinion between men and women, and that men are oppressed. I don't believe that at all. I believe that both genders have their struggles, but this one I'm going to have to say women really do have the advantage.
having women in government, having women CEOs.
You know, basic gender equality.
Surprise!
You're probably a feminist.
Feel free to identify or not identify any way you want. But if you say you're not a feminist, at least understand what the term actually means.
You don't understand what the term actually means. You yourself are ignorant towards what your movement stands for. You claim that you fight for women's choices, yet you bash women for making their own choices. You claim that you're fighting for women in their reproductive rights, yet you dismiss when they don't want to have an abortion, or when they feel that abortion isn't the right method. And I do believe that a woman has a right to abort a zygote if she doesn't feel she wants to give birth to it, but that doesn't change the fact that you don't respect other women's beliefs, and that shows that you have zero understanding for what your own movement stands for. So just shut up.
And if you think that you're a humanist,
Ziva, we gotta go. We just don't have time for this today.
Go to hell.